Hello guys, this is Andrei. I'm a certified translator and a real estate concierge. I'm based and operating here in Belarus, across the whole Belarus. And today we're going to talk about Indian relocation to Belarus because this subject seems to be quite to the point. And a lot of people are asking questions about how this may be done. There are at least two operators who are doing blogs about Belarus, and one of them is called Bad Boys Lies. Actually, the guy is based in Latin America, and strangely enough, he also promotes the country here. And one of my viewers quite recently asked, like each of you guys is saying negative things about the other without saying the name, so basically which one of you is a good guy? It's a legitimate question and it's kind of logical, and if you were to watch all the videos about the Indian relocation drama with my client explaining how things happened, they will be linked in the video description. The answer is quite obvious, but to give you just an idea of who of us is legitimate and who of us didn't steal people's money, I would say out of two of us, one did not run away from Belarus selling his stuff, his fancy cars and his fancy crap. And out of two of us, one, should he return to Belarus, will not get a fraud case just immediately he steps on the Belarusian ground, once he is here. So any questions about bad boy coming back to Belarus, I think the answer is no. He's not going to come to Belarus, and his operators are going to be servicing and spending your money here once you go over here. That's the simple way. The complicated way to answer that question will be to recall the experience of my friend Kavaljit, who is available to give explanations on the phone. And basically most of the clients, victims of the bad boy, went through this treatment. They arrive over here, they get some red carpet and champagne treatment, they hand over the money in cash, just words spoken, hands shaken, no written obligations. When parties spend time together, when you come from India and he is your big boy, of course he is never gonna be your big buddy again because he's not in Belarus anymore. He puts you through the bars and the booze and all the treatment and all the dancing parties and all the crap, nightlife and stuff. You get excited, you shake hands, you give yourself hugs. Then you trust the guy. And this is how one of the successful cases from his channel actually handed more than $100,000, losing the $100,000 and the bar, basically, the lounge which is selling now, but it's not gonna sell. After more excitement, you hand him over money and you ask him to buy some houses, some good houses that will definitely get you residency, and maybe some couple more houses that you can invest in and resell them. And his guy on the ground, bad boy's guy on the ground, takes your money and goes and buys some properties that he sees cool, nice, resellable. And they're most likely garbage properties, not costing more than $3,000. This was exactly the reason that cost Mr. Rana his residency here in Belarus and got him a 5-year deportation term. I have it on the paper, so if you're not trusting my words, I can show you the papers. When you come back over here and you either transferred crypto in India to some strange guy called Jay, or to some other guy without any name at all, or maybe even to the bad boy's wallet, you come over here and you see that your houses are not really very good and the residency was not given to you like it was promised, and maybe it was even cancelled. I know a couple of guys with a 5-year ban and deportation case because the houses they filed were basically crap. And you will notice that Mr. Lamba, the charming little kid from Vitebsk University who was moderating the Bad Boys channel, he is gone because the house is crap, they're having family issues in India, and I'm sorry about that. But when I was offering them help, they said, no, we don't need any assistance from you, stay away from us. And then when they needed help from the bad boy, he told them to piss off because he's not really helping people. His heart is made of gold, like somebody pointed out in the comments, but it's your gold. It's not the gold he's gonna share with you. What happens later, your excitement grows, you are unhappy, you are just surprised and everything, and you wish to talk to the bad boy, but he's no longer sweet anymore. He got your cash, he has other idiots in line, and he just wants to move on with his Maserati lifestyle. And you are just going to leave Belarus if you do something wrong, if you go to the police, if you just open your mouth, and he is very good convincing people they should keep silent, then you will get nothing. If you keep silent, if you polite and smile and confirm that he is a really great guy, a good operator, then the money may again returned to you. But what happens is your history of messaging is erased long ago. You were conversing on Telegram and nobody promised anybody anything. So your promises, your obligations they're gone. The assistant of the bad boy here on the ground tells at the police station where we got them all with the Kavaljit story. He says, well, I was never paid by this Indian guy. I got the money from the office of the bad boy. He took it out of his pocket, and basically this is the money that was in the game. Of course, we don't want to claim that this Indian client of ours is stealing from us. We're going to resolve things with him. But yeah, that's what happened. We never got paid for these houses. And then you were left with your houses, with your 5-year travel ban, and basically with your money gone for the lifestyle of the YouTube hero that you are so much complimenting. That's how it works. Last but not least, ask yourself, why this big operator, the big bad boy, why is he actually registered? He was registered as a private businessman in Belarus. That's the smallest business entity. That's like a shoemaker or the guy who fixes computers. That's not a corporation or LLC or something. Unlike the one I have, for instance, which is not the biggest of companies, but still it's officially registered and it can invite people. Why all the success cases shown on his channel are actually fail cases? And if you look closer at them, if you ask these people why are they not in Belarus, what would they tell you? Why they were invited by some strange girl who does not have anything to do officially with the bad boy? Why is the assistant of the bad boy say that, oh, we told these guys they must invest into these houses they're buying. They paid $10,000 for crappy $2,000 houses, but they were supposed to improve them further to get the TRP. How does that work? And how do you guys explain to that? We asked these questions with Kavaljit next to me in the camera, and the bad boy said nothing. He just continues his hypnotizing speeches. I like that. He increased his audience. That's great. And cheers to bad boy. But ask yourself, how is that supposed to work for you? What I mean to say in this video is that now that I have successfully completed my one-room flat deal with an Indian guy in Vitebsk, and he will be further available for questions for you, I can offer you the following things, guys. You can come over here and purchase an apartment, or I can do that here on your behalf. You can do this remotely. We're talking about the money of around $30,000, which, if we're speaking about a basic property, a one-room apartment, which was featured in the videos, and I will probably inject one example here because this is the real story. And this is something we can discuss over a consultancy. I love you guys. I know that your money is hard-earned and everything, and I know that many of you have been watching my YouTube channel for more than months, for years basically. It's been on for more than 3 years. The relocation part is 3 years, but I would like to respect my experience, to expect my knowledge, and any cooperation talks will start with a consultancy, which is reasonably priced compared to the money that you may invest or may lose if you do something, not the best way. Because as I see it, I'm not selling houses or flats, guys, I'm selling solutions, and the best thing for me is that you are comfortable, you are here with the solution you picked, and for several years we will be selling your property, buying something bigger. You got the one-room flat, we'll get you a 3-room flat as you grow and as you expand over here. There are just several things you have to observe, and consultancy is step number 1. Step number 2, you have to understand that consultancy will not get you the entire complete book about how things are in Belarus. It's about relocation and real estate. These are simple things that have multiple steps, different steps that may be taken this way or the other to save you money, to get a better place, and so on and so forth, to get you a better solution. But if you're asking about how to launch a poultry farm, how to launch a dairy farm, how to launch a logistics company, guys, nobody is going to answer you any questions like this in a detailed and practical way on a blog, on a free of charge blog. Any questions about setting up a business, about customs, exports, imports and stuff, they require niche knowledge that nobody can have, especially not the guys who do YouTube, not even me, because I have my accountant and my lawyer talking about these things to me when I need to, and every specific case has a specific solution. So when you ask in a live chat like how this or that can be done, it's really naive to expect a really full detailed answer. Since you guys came to my channel for some knowledge, I would like to share some information with you. It's general information about relocation to Belarus, and it's based on the questions and frequently asked, discussed issues from the channel of Mr. Bad Boy. Let's get started. The very first question was quite to the point. Are there any decent jobs for English speakers here in Belarus? Immediately I would say no, unless you're a top-class programmer for Android, iOS or something like this, and this will require you connecting with the employer. They would generate your special work permit and get your employment and TRP based on your employment here in Belarus fixed. You should keep a pretty obvious and simple thing in mind. If you don't speak English well, then your relocation to Belarus will be really expensive. I wouldn't say don't go or something, because right now I have a whole family, a man and wife, that was saved from the bad boy. And the guy is trying to launch his restaurant. He's not listening to my advice, so he's spending money left and right, but without much success by far. And though English is not really widely spoken here in Belarus, that's at least a way you can minimize the pains looking for a translator to sort out your daily things. And in your daily things, check the partners you're dealing with before you start the business. Is there a minimal amount for the temporary residency? Well, there are two ways to answer this question. There's a minimal amount, but check out my video, Cheap House, which is bullshit. Since 2018 at least, that's when the fraud case dates back to, the one that's still waiting for bad boy if he comes back. Since 2018 they have been buying $2,000-$3,000 houses at best and selling it to the fellow Indians for $10,000 each. So that's the minimal investment. And as a result, many people just got the TRPs cancelled as they were cheerfully sitting in India, and that was it. So do you want that cheap or do you want it reasonably cheap? We just bought a one-room apartment for my Indian client. He comes back in a month, he applies for the residency, and that's what I would say reasonably, wisely, cheap. The place is going to be rented out, getting passive income, minimal, but still. And there's not going to be any bullshit stories with some village properties sitting 3 hours away, any dairy farm crappy stories, nothing like that. Simple, business-like, and to the point. Which visa works to come and explore Belarus for properties, a way of life and stuff? Tourist visa can perfectly fit that purpose, and it can be maximum 30 days long, and you cannot apply for the residency using that visa. So if you wish to come and also potentially get a property, which you still can on a tourist visa, you should do a different visa. Which one? We discuss on my consultancy. Is government going to close TRP program, and how to go about this? Well, with the way a lot of Indians and Pakistanis, I regret to say that, with the help of my friend Zia Khan, that I'm still looking to find here in Minsk and get to the cops again. And the bad boy, many houses were purchased by many people. There was multiple fraud. The government was really upset to see these things happen, to a pretty goodwill regulation, because they didn't minimize the threshold of the property cost. They just said, buy residential property, you'll be able to live. But people were playing games with the government, which I am absolutely against, because I'm doing that officially, and there's my name next to these things in the paperwork, so that's why. And the government is not really closing that stuff any soon, but sooner or later, playing such games by bad guys like Bad Boy, the things can change radically, and you may as well get a $25,000 requirement, $30,000 requirement, which by far does not exist. So while it's there, you can use your money and settle in a new country if you choose to go away from your motherland. Can I purchase land? No, you can't purchase land in Belarus. How far is a $20,000 property from Minsk? Well, judging by the cost, it's gonna be, let's say, at least half hour away from the city by train, and even that with a decent bunch of factors will be probably closer to 25,000, maybe 30,000 if it's something one room, decent, livable, and available by train. Otherwise, your logistics will just eat away all the money that you'll save on that. We can review the options with the partner agency of mine once we go on an online call and have a paid professional consultancy, which is the key step to all the cooperation, guys. And last but not least, our special offer of the season. If you wish to spend your money without leaving home country, you can make out a power of attorney and get it legalized in India. I will explain you the steps and send it over here by post or with some friend coming over. Your friend can examine the place, your friend can pass the money, your friend can actually have the power of attorney, but I can do all these things for you in the field as a certified translator. I can do this stuff. and the agency assistance if that's needed. We will discuss during a consultancy on a call. We can also hire a real estate agency to check the property background if that is important for you, and I would say with 30,000 or more spent, it's important to do that. And everything will be done professionally, by the book, and observing certain deadlines with full accountability to you, instead of all these mumbo-jumbo things with red carpet, champagne, and money gone next day. Thank you for your attention, my dear friends. This was about it. My general message of today can be shortened to a couple of wisdoms, like use your brain and logic to see which is the best operator for you to deal with. There is nothing coming free of charge which is of some value, especially not the commercial information that can be sold, like relocation or real estate information or even business information. Business information maybe in the first line. Collect and analyze information using different sources. There aren't many sources, many of them are conflicting, and try to have some people who actually were featured as having good experience confirm it long term. Like talk to Rajkumar Rana if you can reach him, talk to other guys from the channel and of the Bad Boys channel, of course. Talk to the village friends from the channel. We have all the numbers available. Talk to Kavaljit and ask them like what's going on and how did it work. I would also say talk to Mitelesh, but this is not the guy I respect because he's not a gentleman, to put it mildly. And Mitelesh, I can explain it to you when I meet you in person in Minsk, that there is no respect for you and what you did, what you promised and you never did. And basically, don't forget to get a knowledgeable, smart consultant who is here, who is not leaving Belarus, and who is not driving luxury cars or is not fond of jewelry at some other people's cost. This was Andrei from Minsk. Thank you very much for watching. Your questions and your comments, not your questions, your comments underneath are very welcome. Press likes, press dislikes, and the messenger again will be here for your direct communication, and this messenger and this number only, no other means of communication. Thank you very much. Looking forward to having a consultancy with you guys. Cheers from Minsk, and see you here.